Of course, the heart of this movement is still in New York on Wall Street, and it is now day 20. And this last week has seen a major surge in the number of people joining and in the attention being paid to Occupy Wall Street. I think it's easy to forget, but these pictures that we're seeing, they're not only being shown here, they are being shown all around the world, largely in part to the global live stream being coordinated from the protest. I want to talk to Katie Davidson now from our New York studio. Katie is the public relations coordinator at Occupy Wall Street and is one of the people running the desk at the media center there. Hey there, Katie. Talk a little bit about your role and tell me exactly what you're doing down there in Lower Manhattan.
Well, first and foremost, I think I'm a protester, but I sort of have fallen into the role of coordinating media, which includes live stream and production capacities on the ground at Occupy Wall Street, and then also some of our press relations.
What is live stream for those people who are unfamiliar with it?
Live stream is basically a minute-by-minute live broadcast that we have streaming from the ground. It originated in Madrid in the protests that were happening there, and it was brought out there by a team that runs Global Revolution, and they sort of trained us to use it. And basically, we are able to stream with 3 different cameras everything that's happening around you, so from General Assembly to our protests. And it really works as a tool to keep people, to really help with the participatory element of our movement.
You said this started in Madrid. Did these people actually come from Spain to New York to sort of help you guys work this all out?
Yes, it's a group of activists that have been active in a lot of different protest movements sort of around the world, but they came out to help us set up the live stream in New York, and now they're helping to build it in cities around the United States.
Certainly interesting. This truly is becoming an international effort, as we've seen protests also sort of spark up around the world as well. I want to get your take, Katie, on the way the mainstream media has been covering this. I know that you've done some interviews and you've been referred to sort of as a spokesperson, but it seems to me that you're not comfortable with being a spokesperson for Occupy Wall Street. Why is that? In the participatory democracy is really about something that I think that we aren't used to talking about, and it really is a leaderless movement. So in that vein, since we are free of leaders, we really are free of spokespeople as well. There are a bunch of us who have sort of been on the ground since day one, who are privy to more information than maybe some other people are, and that's why we've been talking to the press more, but I can only ever speak for myself. And I think that that's why the spokesperson thing is a little uncomfortable. Yeah, you're not speaking for the whole movement. I guess you're speaking for yourself.
I'm not speaking for the whole movement.
Regarding the mainstream media, though, I'm sure you probably haven't had a lot of chances to turn on the television. But have you gotten a sense that, first of all, that the coverage has changed as the movement has grown? And what are your gripes with the way that the mainstream media has covered this?
Well, I mean, I really, actually, because I'm on the ground live streaming all the time and running our media production center, I really probably am the last person who knows what the mainstream is actually covering. But I think in the beginning, it was sort of, everybody was waiting to see if this was going to be something serious. And it seems like as more unions and community groups have gotten involved, people have started taking us a little more seriously. I think in general, the mainstream media waters a message down a little bit, or has trouble with things that are sort of outside of the box. What we're doing right now is revolutionary in the sense of that it's something that hasn't been done before, that we're sort of learning as we go along. And it feels like they're trying to define us in a traditional sense, which really doesn't work,
Such an interesting point. Easy to say the same thing about a lot of major protest movements throughout history that sort of started less organized and sort of changed and grew together as they went on. I want to get your take. You said you've been down there since the first day. How has this movement changed? What have you seen evolve there on the ground?
I mean, more than anything, it's just become incredibly, it's grown in numbers. I mean, and that definitely changes the dynamic on the ground. It's really been inspiring. It's been a really inspiring process to be a part of. I flew out from LA on the red eye on the 16th, and initially had come just to sort of document the process. And by the 3rd day, I was just fully in it and wanting to be a part of it and wanting to help and be of service in any way I can. So
I don't know. I mean, more than anything, I think that there is that feeling that this is really going to be something that could be groundbreaking, that could really change, you know, the world.
Yeah, you know, we were just showing
hopeful.
some pictures from Los Angeles, from your hometown, that this is, you know, being energized there as well, and that people surrounded this Bank of America today. As somebody who's in charge, though, of the media aspect of this, I want to talk to you, too, about some pictures that are really being shown a lot, especially in the last 24 hours, and that is pictures of the police. What are you witnessing there from this? How does this fit into the story?
I mean, as an independent journalist, I actually had my own sort of run-in with the police. I was arrested on the Brooklyn Bridge last weekend. And then
you and 700 other people.
Yeah, with 700 other people as I was filming, and so were our live stream crews. I was also knocked down by a police officer on the front lines in the Union Square protests. And I think it's raised a lot of interesting questions about what the role of independent journalism is, you know, as we sort of move forward. I mean, I know that on the Brooklyn Bridge there were a couple Times reporters that were arrested as well, but you know, it's a little frustrating that we aren't afforded any of the protection that the mainstream media would be given, because ultimately we are there documenting something that is happening.
Certainly, this is being recorded a lot, thanks in part to things like Twitter and people like you, independent journalists who are there, who don't necessarily have a press pass that says the New York Times or ABC or CNN, but certainly you're there on the front lines.